Hello and welcome everybody to the Kreatryx YouTube channel and myself Ankit Goel here in front of you presenting a lecture on analog electronics. So guys, soon you will be watching one of the best lectures on analog electronics, but before doing that, let me first introduce myself, my dear friends. My name is Ankit Goel. I got AIR1 twice in GATE in 2014 and 2018. I was awarded the President of India Gold Medal in the year 2013 when I graduated from IIT Indore. Till date, I have taught more than 1 lakh students in the online and the offline classes, and presently I am working as a director at Unacademy for GATE department. But the reason, my friend, the reason up for this series is because many students were asking for analog electronics, and I had recorded analog electronics just a short while ago, but due to that huge demand, we are giving you the recorded content of the analog electronics, and you are absolutely going to love it because it will provide you an in-depth analysis of analog electronics, and that analysis will be more based on network analysis than EDC. So if you don't have a prior knowledge of EDC, that is not at all required. When I am teaching analog electronics, I will be relating it more towards the network analysis. So you need to have a good basic understanding of network analysis so that you can do well in analog electronics. And my dear friend, what I believe is after this lecture series is over, your fear of analog electronics will definitely go away, and it will seem to be one of the easiest subject ever, because you will be applying the fundamental laws and you will be finding all the answers. Okay, so it will become very easy even for an electrical engineer, because I believe electrical engineers think of analog electronics as a nightmare. They are more comfortable in machines, power system, but not in analog. But now this analog electronics course will stand you at par with the ECE engineers, and you will be able to do well in analog electronics, and I believe you can get 100% marks in analog in GATE and ESE through this course. Okay, so my dear friend, you need to watch all these videos carefully. You need to understand each and every point, and they will also have a large number of questions, so your problem solving ability will be developed. And now my dear friends, you can also join us on Unacademy Plus. With Unacademy Plus, what is the benefit if I am teaching here on YouTube itself? My dear friend, GATE rank or ESE rank is not only about the lectures. First thing you have to understand that when you come to Unacademy, the level of teaching, the level of interaction, discussion is way higher than it can ever be done on YouTube. Because there we are interacting live with the students, and you will feel that your teacher is sitting right in front of you and teaching you on a one-to-one basis. So that sort of a feeling you will get on Plus. You will feel like somebody is taking a tuition class when he is teaching on Plus. That level of personalization is there. But not only live classes, you also get recorded sessions. Whatever session you miss will be available in the recorded form. You get daily practice papers for practice. You get weekly tests to test your preparation level. You get test series, previous year question bank, short courses like crash course and rank improvement batch, and you also get doubt clearing by all the top educators. Now when you get so many things in just one subscription, then I believe if you are serious enough to crack GATE and ESE, you can get the top rank in GATE and ESE. And you can also go for Iconic. Iconic is a superset of Plus subscription. It contains everything that is there in Plus, but many things that are there extra in Iconic, like a personal coach who will be guiding you on a one-to-one basis about the difficulties that you face, about your weaknesses, about the challenges that you might face, about the strategy part. Everything he will tell you in a one-to-one session. Then he will be seeing your test results and giving you a personalized test analysis about what are your weaknesses and how you can overcome them. Then every 2 weeks, there will be a study booster session in which you can ask your doubts, whatever problems you have, and they will be helping you clear them. That is again one-to-one. Other than that, you will also get personalized study material. Here you will get theory notes and you will get question banks. You will get interview guidance. Soon enough, interview guidance will also be added. So the student who is starting his journey right now and looking to crack GATE and ESE with the top rank, Iconic will be the best subscription for that. Stay with me till the end of the video and I'll tell you about the pricing of these.
Guys, in the last few lectures, we have studied about application of diode, and we have discussed one application in particular, which is the clipper. So in this video, what we'll do is we'll take a look at some of the problems that are based on Clipper, and I'll tell you how to deal with those problems. So without wasting any time, let us start with the first one. Find the minimum voltage V in for the diode to be forward biased. See, in this circuit, there is nowhere written Clipper or anything of that sort. So don't complicate it for yourself. What I'll do is I'll start from the basic. That is, I will either apply short circuit test or open circuit. So let me try this one using short circuit test. So what I'll do is, unless diode parameters are given, I will consider it as ideal diode. I have short circuited the diode. Okay. This is V in. Now, as I have told you previously also, while doing short circuit test, we have to focus on the current through the diode. That current should be directed from anode towards cathode. Okay. And in open circuit test, we focus on the voltage across the diode. Now suppose this one is ground. So this voltage will be 7 volt, right? This is the current through the diode ID. Suppose this is I1, this is I. Now if you want to calculate I1, what you will do is, the top point voltage is 7. This voltage is 7. The below voltage is 3. 7 minus 3 by 600. So 4 by 0.6 kilo ohm, that is 4 upon 3 by 5 kilo ohm, or you can say 20 by 3 milliampere. Okay, that is the value of I1. What about I? I is the current through the 500 ohm resistor. V in minus 7. 500 ohm means 0.5 kilo ohm. So that means 2 V in minus 14 milliampere. Now if you want to focus on diode current, by KCL you will write diode current is I minus I1, 2 V in minus 14 minus 20 by 3. That is 2 V in minus 62 by 3. Okay. Milliampere. Now this diode current should be positive because the current should always flow from anode to cathode. So for diode to be forward biased, ID must be greater than 0. 2 V in should be greater than 62 by 3. Or you can say V in is greater than 31 by 3 or 10.33 volt. Okay. So V in will be greater than 10.33 volt, or you can say the minimum voltage for diode forward biasing is 10.33 volt. The next question. Here we have multiple diodes, and what does it say? The input voltage V in varies linearly from 0 to 150 volt. We need to sketch the transfer characteristic. As I told you in the clipper that we always draw transfer characteristic, that is the curve between V0 and V in. So now V in is going from 0 to 150 volt. In order to understand the behavior of this circuit, again you can either go for open circuit test or short circuit test. Okay, because even in multiple devices I told you open circuit test and short circuit test are the best method forward. So again I'll start from short circuit test. So starting from short circuit test, what I will do is I will call this current as I1. I have short circuited D1. This is V in. Then 200 kilo ohm, 100 volt. Then this is I2. 100 kilo ohm, 25 volt and V0. So I have short circuited both the diodes. For the diode to be on, the current must be directed from anode to cathode, that is the current must be greater than 0. Now how to solve this circuit consisting of these two diodes? What will be the procedure? So if you see in this circuit, when both the diodes are on, V0 equal to Vin. When D1 and D2 both are on. So now what I'll do is I will calculate this I and this I dash. I can be calculated as Vin minus 100 by 200k. What about I dash? Vn minus 25 by 100k. Okay, that is what we'll do. Now when you want to solve this, if you see here the current is 0 ampere, it is open circuit. So what you can say, I dash is minus I2. I dash is minus I2. So I2 will be minus Vn plus 25 divided by 100k. This is our I2. Now we know I as well as I2. So what I can say, I1 plus I2 equal to I. I am applying KCL at this node. So I1 will be I minus I2, which means I1 is Vn minus 100 by 200 minus I2. Minus I2 means plus Vn minus 25 by 100. The LCM would be 200. 3 Vn minus 150. Now if you keep the condition that both the currents should be positive, that both currents should be greater than 0 for diodes to be on, in that case what you will get? For I1 greater than 0, 3 Vn greater than 150, or you can say Vn greater than 50. I2 greater than 0, 25 minus Vn should be greater than 0, or you can say Vn less than 25. Now if you see these two conditions, one is saying Vn greater than 50, other is saying Vn less than 25. It means both cannot be on together. Okay, both cannot be on together, and that is the condition that we are getting from the circuit. So now what we will do is, I'll take one at a time. So first one is Vn less than 25. So what I'll do in this case, I will say when D2 is on and D1 is off. Okay, when D2 is on and D1 is off, because both cannot be on simultaneously. So you will switch off D1 like this. This is Vn. Now D2 is shorted. Now we have to figure out V0. See, this is 200k, 100 volt, 25 volt, 100k. Now in this case, 100 volt is greater than 25 volt. So the current in this circuit will flow in this manner. That means like this. And what will be this current? I will be 100 minus 25 by 300k. But if you see, this current is going from cathode to anode, which means it is violating the current direction, or I can say D2 is also off. That means when D1 is off, what I conclude from here, when D1 is off, D2 cannot be on. Okay. In the previous case, what I concluded, D1 and D2 cannot be on together. Why they cannot be on together? I assumed both of them to be on. One was saying V in greater than 50, other was saying V in less than 25. These two conditions cannot be simultaneously true. These 2 points I have obtained. Now, what I'll do is, I'll take D1 and D2. Suppose both are off. If both are off, both will be open circuited like this. If both are open circuited, that means no current flow. If there is no current flow, this current is 0 here. That means voltage drop across resistance is also 0, which means V0 is simply 25. When both are off, V0 is simply 25 volt. And when will this happen? For this to happen, both diodes must be reverse biased. Let me draw circuit once. You will better understand. See. If this is the circuit, what I am saying is, both diodes are off. Okay. So what I am saying is, current here is 0 ampere. So that means V0 will be simply 25. Okay. V0 here is 25 volt. But for that to happen, the voltage across both the diodes should be negative. This is VD1 and this is VD2. Both must be reverse biased. If there is no current flow, the voltage at this terminal is 100, the voltage at this terminal is 25. What about VD2? VD2 is 25 minus 100 minus 75, hence it is reverse bias. What about VD1? It is V in minus 100, this must be less than 0. So V in must be less than 100 and then only it will be reverse bias. So V0 will be 25 and V in is less than 100. The other case that I will now take is, when D1 is on and D2 is off. So D1 is on, I have turned it on, and D2 is off. If D2 is off, then there is no current flow again. V0 will be 25 volt. But since D1 is on, what will be the condition? What will be the current here? I V in minus 100 by 200k. V in minus 100 by 200k, and this current must be positive, which means V in must be greater than 100 volt. Okay. So when V in is greater than 100 volt, then D1 is on and D2 is off. See. So now we have two conditions. V in greater than 100 volt, D1 on and D2 is off. When V in is less than 100 volt, then both are off. Okay. So these two conditions we have obtained. But in both the cases we are getting V0 equal to 25. That means D2 cannot be on ever. So V0 Vi, V0 remains 25 when Vi goes up to 150. V0 will always be 25 volt. Okay. So these are the transfer characteristics of the circuit that we have given. Moving on. Again we have the same question, but we have changed the sources 25 volt and 100 volt. So now I'll approach this problem in a different manner. I will apply open circuit test from now. Okay, previous one I solved for you using short circuit test. But the focus should be, when we are applying open circuit test, we want to figure out the voltage across the diode. This is V naught, 200K, 25 volt, 100K, 100 volt. This voltage is VD1, this voltage is VD2. So we'll say for forward biasing, both voltages should be greater than 0. Now if you see, if you have open circuited both the diodes, then there is no path of current flow. If there is no path of current flow, then the voltage here is 100 and the voltage here is 25. Okay. So what about VD2 now? VD2 is 100 minus 25 volt equal to 75 volt. What about VD1? Vin minus 25 volt. So we'll say VD1 is greater than 0 when Vin is greater than 25. So VD2 is directly coming positive, which means D2 is getting forward bias, and D1 will be forward bias when Vin is greater than 25. So now what I'll take is case 1, when Vin is less than 25, which means D1 is reverse bias, but I am taking D2 is on. So if D1 is reverse biased, it will be open circuited. Okay. This is our Vin. Now D2 is on means it will be short circuit. V naught. Okay. So this is 100 volt. This is 25 volt. When D2 is on, we'll check the current through the diode. So I will be 100 minus 25 by 200 plus 100. So how much will it come? 75 by 300. 75 by 300 will become 0.25 milliampere. This is positive. Now what about V naught in this case? V naught will be 100 minus 100I, because this voltage across this 100K would be 100I. So that will be 75 volt. Okay. So V naught will come out to be 75 volt. What about the voltage across D1? In this case, the voltage across D1 is Vin minus V naught, or Vin minus 75. This must be less than 0. So what I can say now, when Vin is less than 75 volt, the voltage across D1 is negative. So D1 is off and D2 is on. D1 is off and D2 is on. And what about V naught? V naught is coming out to be 75 volt. Now take second case, case number 2. Vin is greater than 75. In that case, diode 1 voltage would be greater than 0. That means D1 is on and D2 was already on. If D1 is on and D2 is already on, what I'll do is I'll short circuit both the diodes. When I will short circuit both the diodes, again I will have to focus now on the currents through the diode. In this case, when both are on, you can see V0 equal to V in. But in that case, what about I2? I2 is 100 minus V in by 100. This should be positive, which means V in must be less than 100 volt. What about I1? I1 will basically be I1 plus I2. I can say I1 plus I2 equal to I. So I1 will be I minus I2. I is how much? V in minus 25 by 200 because the voltage here is V in. What about I2? 100 minus V in by 100. So the LCM would be 200. V in plus 2V in, 3V in minus 25 minus 200 minus 225 by 200. This is positive, which means V in greater than 75. So now what I get is when V in lies between 75 and 100 volt, then both the diodes are on. When V in lies between 75 and 100 volt, both the diodes are on, and when V in is less than 75 volt, only D2 is on. See, now what I'll do is I'll just remove this. So I will summarize what I have derived up to now. When V in lies between 75 and 100 volt, both D1 and D2 are on, and V0 equal to V in. When V in less than 75 volt, only D2 is on, V0 is 75. Now the only case that remains is when V in greater than 100. When V in is greater than 100, this I2 will be negative. This I2 will be negative. So what I'll say, D2 is off and D1 is on. So what I'll do now, I will turn on D1 and I will switch off D2. I have switched it off. That means there is no current flowing through D2. So if there is no current flow, as you can see, this current is 0. So the voltage across resistance is 0. V0 will come out to be 100 volt. What about voltage across D2? The voltage across D2 is now V0 minus V in, or you can say 100 minus V in. This should be negative, or you can say V in greater than 100 volt. So when V in is greater than 100 volt, V0 will come out to be 100 and D1 will be on and D2 will be off. So we have covered all the possible cases. So when we have covered all the possible cases, I will draw the transfer characteristics V0 versus V in. Now the first condition that we have derived is there is 175 volt mark. Below 75 volt, V0 must be 75. Okay. Now between 75 and 100, between 75 and 100, V0 equal to V in. So it is a straight line of slope equal to 1. And above 100, V0 equal to 100. So like this. Up to where we will go up to 150. Okay. So you can say it is a two-level clipper. It is clipping the voltage at 75 volt and 100 volt. So based on two diodes, we have constructed a two-level clipper. Next problem. Again same type of data, but we have changed the position of the diodes. Now it is your choice whether to start this question based on open circuit test or short circuit. Suppose I apply open circuit test again. In open circuit test, what we do is we open circuit the diodes and we check the voltage across the diodes to check for forward biasing and reverse biasing. Okay, so here I have open circuited both the diodes. No matter how big the circuit is, no matter how difficult it looks, if you go by these basic methods, you will never get stuck. Okay, so I'll mark the voltage across D1 and D2. This is VD1, this is VD2. Okay, now since there is no current here, the voltage drop across this 200k is 0. So I'll say when D1 and D2 both are considered to be off, V0 will come out to be 25 volt. Now in this case, in particular, there is no current flow because all path of current flow are open. So if there is no current flow, what is the voltage here? Voltage here is V in. If the voltage at this node is V in, what is VD1? V in minus 100. What about VD2? V in minus 25. So what I'll say is, when V in is less than 25 volt, both D1 and D2 are off. Both will be negative. Both D1 and D2 are off, so V0 will be 25. First condition I have obtained. Now let me take the condition when V in is between 25 and 100 volt. In this case, I'll say D2 will be on and D1 will be off. If such a thing happens, let me draw the circuit. I have turned off D1. Whenever you turn off a diode, you have to check the voltage across the diode, and if you turn it on, then you have to check the current. So D2 is turned on. That means to verify this hypothesis, I will check the voltage across D1 and the current across D2. This voltage is now V0. Okay. So now see, there is this closed loop path of current flow. So what will be this current? I will be V in minus 25 by 300k. Okay, this will be greater than 0 because we have assumed V in is greater than 25. Now what about this voltage? VD1. First of all, if I want to calculate V0, it is 25 plus 200I. This voltage is 200I. 25 plus 200I means 25 plus 2 by 3 V in minus 50 by 3. Means 25 by 3, 2 V in plus 25 by 3. That will be the value of V0. Okay. So let me separate these things here. So I'll write in the next one. I am saying D1 and D2. I am summarizing the discussion when V in is less than 25. In that case, V0 is 25 volt. When it is between 25 and 100 volt, D2 is on and V0 is 2 V in plus 25 by 3. Okay, that is the value of V in. In this case, what will be the voltage VD1? VD1 will be V0 minus 100. If I want to find VD1, this I have written already. If we want VD1, As you can see, the voltage here is V0. VD1 is V0 minus 100. V0 is 2V in plus 25 by 3 minus 100. 300 minus 25 is 275. Okay. Now V in is less than 100. V in is less than 100 means, or what you will say, diode 1 is reverse bias when VD1 is less than 0. 2V in minus 275 is less than 0. Or you can say V in less than 137.5 volt. Okay. So now the next condition that I'll take is when V in is greater than 137.5 volt. In that case, what I'll say is both diodes must be on. If both diodes are on, in this circuit only I am editing, they will be short circuited. Under short circuit, what do I check? I check the current through the diode. Okay. I have to calculate I1 and I2. If both are short circuited, the voltage at this node is V0. So what about this current I? I will be V in minus V0 by 100. Okay. What about I1? V0 minus I1 actually we cannot calculate directly. What about I2? I2 will be V0 minus 25 by 200. What about I1? I minus I2. So V in minus V0 by 100 minus V0 minus 25 by 200. So if we take the LCM, 200 will be the LCM. So 2V in minus 2V0 minus V0 minus 3V0 plus 25. That will be the value of I1. So in this case, how to find out the value of V0? That is the major concern is V0. If you see, if this diode is short circuited, I can say V0 is 100. If V0 is 100, what is I2? I will substitute this value of V0. 75 by 200, that is greater than 0. What about I1? 2V in minus 275 by 200. That is greater than 0 because V in is greater than 137.5 volt. So what I have obtained now is when V in is greater than 137.5, V0 is 100. So if we want to draw the transfer curve, I am drawing it below the circuit. V0, V in. So the first condition, when V in is less than 25. When V in is less than 25, V0 is also 25. When it is between 25 and 100, then it is a linear relationship between V0 and V in, and it has a slope of 2 by 3. Now check at 25. What is the value at 25? It is same as 25. Okay. So it will start from here. What about at 137.5? At 137.5, it will be 100. So you will take up to 137.5 and its value will go up to 100 volt. It will be a straight line. This straight line has a slope of 2 by 3. After 137.5, V0 will be 100. Again, it is a 2-level clipper. Okay, we will go up to 150. Moving on, it is asking to design a slicer circuit. Slicer means a clipper circuit which can give the following output waveform. Okay, so that means we need clipping at two levels, 1 volt and 3 volt. You want the input to be passed if input is greater than 1 volt and Vin is less than 3 volt, V0 must be equal to Vin. So I'll directly design such circuit. I am saying that there will be two sources. One source will be 1 volt and the other source will be 3 volt. And then there will be this V0. So below 1 volt, when the input is below 1 volt, the output should be 1 volt. When the input is below 1 volt, the output should be 1 volt. Now see, here the voltage is Vin. If it is less than 1, this diode will become forward bias, V0 will become 1 volt. Similarly, above 3 volt, we are clipping it at 3. Above 3 means like this. If Vin is greater than the voltage at cathode, that is 3 volt, this diode will become forward and V0 will become 3. So this is a simple clipper circuit that can give the desired waveform. Next, it is asking to draw the output waveform for the ideal diode. Input is sinusoidal with maximum value 8 volt. Okay. We need to find the output waveform. So see, in this, I will apply open circuit test. When I apply open circuit test, I will open circuit both the diodes. This is our 1 volt. This diode will also be open circuited. This is 4 volt. So in open circuit test, I always check the voltages across the diodes. This is V0 and this is Vi. In such a case, when both the diodes are open, when D1 and D2 are off, there is no current flow, there is no possible path of current flow. In such a case, V0 is actually equal to Vi. Okay, V0 will be directly equal to input voltage. Now what about VD1? The voltage here will be Vi because there will be 0 volt drop across R. VD1 will be Vi minus 1 volt. VD2 will be Vi minus, VD2 polarity is opposite, so it will be minus 4 minus Vi. So now VD1 will be greater than 0 when Vi is greater than 1. VD2 will be greater than 0 when minus 4 minus Vi is greater than 0, or you can say Vi less than minus 4. So when Vi greater than 1 volt, D1 becomes forward bias. If D1 becomes forward bias, V0 will be, this I am calling as D1. V0 becomes 1 volt. When Vi less than minus 4 volt, D2 becomes forward bias. V0 is minus 4 volt. Okay. So that means it will clip at 1 volt and minus 4 volt. Other than that, it will pass V0 same as Vi. Okay. So if I want to draw the output voltage, how will I draw? The input is a sinusoidal voltage of maximum value 8 volt. Just like the waveform I gave in the previous question, I will draw in the similar manner. First, I will draw a dotted sinusoidal curve of 8 volt. Okay. Now, when Vi is greater than 1 volt, so the first clipping level is 1 volt. Then V0 will be 1. When Vi is less than minus 4, so the second clipping level is minus 4 volt. Okay. Between these two levels, V0 will be same as Vi. Between these two. So when it tries to go above 1, the output will be 1. Between these two, it will be same as Vi. If it tries to go below -4, it will be -4. Then again same as Vi. Then tries to go above 1, it will be 1. Tries to go below -4, it will be -4. So this black curve will give us the value of V0 versus time. Okay. So that will be the shape of the output waveform. Moving on to the next problem, it is saying for an ideal diode circuit, draw the output waveform and calculate the minimum and the maximum value of the output. Okay. So in this question also, you have to either start from open circuit test or from the short circuit test. So like previous problems, I'll start from open circuit test. Like this. In open circuit test, what should be our focus? Our focus should be finding the voltage across the diode. Again, if you see now, when you have open circuited both the diodes, then there is no path for the current flow. If there is no path for the current flow, the voltage drop across the resistance would be 0. If the voltage drop across the resistance is 0, V0 will be same as Vi. But the condition is both the diodes must be reverse bias. So the voltage across both the diodes must be negative. So here we have voltage Vi. What is Vd1? Vi minus 4 volt. Since there is no current flow, you can consider that the voltage across resistance is 0 or the resistance is shorted. Okay, that you can assume the voltage across resistance is 0. So Vd1 is Vi minus 4. What about Vd2? Minus 3 minus Vi, because this voltage is minus 3. Now you will say this condition is true when Vd1 is less than 0, or you can say Vi less than 4 volt. Vd2 less than 0, that means, or you can say Vi greater than minus 3. So what I can say, when Vi lies between minus 3 and 4 volt, diode D1 and D2 are off and V0 is same as Vi. Now when Vi is greater than 4 volt, D1 will turn on, and similarly when Vi is less than minus 3, D2 will turn on. So first let us take the second case. When Vi is less than minus 3, then D2 will be on. So I am taking Vi less than minus 3 volt. I'll say that D2 is on. I am assuming that D1 is off and D2 is on. Okay. So if D2 is on, you can see that what will be the value of V0? Directly you can see that there is a 3 volt battery across V0. So V0 is minus 3 volt. But again, we have to check that we have assumed that D2 is off. So is it off? We will calculate Vd1. Vd1, the voltage across this resistance is 0 volt because there is no current flow due to open circuited. Vd1 will be V0 minus 4. That is minus 7. Less than 0, reverse biased. So this condition is true when Vi is less than 3, D2 is on and V0 is minus 3. Now I'll check the second condition, Vi greater than 4. For Vi greater than 4, what I'll say is D1 is on. If D1 is on, I am assuming D1 is on and D2 is off. So you will short circuit D1. if D2 is off, D2 will be open circuited with this 3 volt source. Now since you have assumed that D2 is off, you have to check the voltage across D2. Okay, this is 2K, 2K, 4. So what about this current I? I will be Vi minus 4 by 4K. What about then this voltage V0? V0 will be Vi minus 2I. So Vi minus 2I will be Vi minus 4 by 2. So Vi by 2 means Vi by 2 minus minus plus 2. That will be the value of V0. Okay. If that is the value of V0, we have to check about VD2. Now VD2 will be how much? Minus 3 minus V0. Minus 3 minus Vi by 2 minus 2. So minus 5 minus Vi by 2. Vi is negative, means our assumption is correct. D2 is off. So now we have derived both the conditions. When Vi is less than minus 3, V0 is minus 3 volt. When Vi is greater than 4 volt, V0 is how much? Vi by 2 plus 2. Okay. So that we have derived. Now it is asking us to calculate the minimum and maximum value of output and also draw the output waveform. So if we draw the output waveform, we will directly get an idea about the minimum and the maximum value. So I'll draw like in previous case. What I'll do is, I will draw input in dotted format and then I will highlight the waveform of V0. Okay. So the input is a sinusoidal input with maximum value of 10. Okay, this is 10 volt and the lower level is minus 10. Now it is saying when Vi is less than minus 3 volt. So we have the first clipping level at minus 3. At minus 3 volt, it is saying it will clip it at minus 3. When also we derived one more condition, minus 3 to 4, V0 is Vi. I will write that here also. So the next clipping level is at 4 volt. Okay. Between these two levels, V0 is equal to Vi. So I will draw like this. V0 is equal to Vi between these two levels. Okay. Now, when Vi tries to go below minus 3, V0 becomes minus 3. But when Vi goes above 4 volt, it is not 4 volt, it is Vi by 2 plus 2. So if I check at 4 volt, 4 by 2 plus 2, it is 4. But what about 10 volt? 10 by 2 plus 2, it is 7. It will not go up to 10, it will only go up to 7 volt. So it will be like this. The maximum value will be 7. Like this. Okay. That means the upper level is not clipped, but it is decremented from 10 volt to 7 volt. So what is V0 maximum? V0 maximum is 7 volt. What is V0 minimum? V0 minimum is minus 3 volt. Okay. So that is the maximum and minimum value of the output voltage. So when you are doing circuits like these in which batteries are there, resistances are there, always make use of either open circuit test or the short circuit test. Okay. Thank you.
Hello everybody, how did you like the lecture? Did you like it or not? Did you enjoy the concepts or not? Tell me in the chat and the comment section. Did you guys like what you just saw? Did you guys understand each and everything, my dear friends? Okay, so if you liked it, then please share, please like the video and please leave a comment behind, because your comments are very valuable to all of us, and we do read your each and every comment and we go through them to understand what are the difficulties you are facing and how we are performing on YouTube. And my dear friend, a bonanza for you. Every subject is available on this YouTube channel. You just need to scroll through the channel and you will find all the courses. EDC, EMT, COM, machine, power system, power electronics, network, signal control, digital, maths, APT, everything is available here, everything. So you can just use this channel as your entire preparatory study material. Okay. Other than that, now all of you who wanted to know about the pricing of Plus, 1 year subscription on Plus will cost you 27,225 if you apply the code Ankit ESE. But now, my dear friend, there is a new subscription, 18-month subscription. Those of you who are starting your preparation mid-year can target GATE twice, or you can target GATE and ESE mains with 1.5 year subscription. That will cost you 34,650 if you apply the code Ankit ESE. If you see the difference, only 7,000 difference is there, but you are getting 6 months extra. And even better, you can go for 2 year. It will cost you 39,600. That is again in just 5,000 rupees. You are getting 6 months extra. So you can target all the exams like GATE, ESE, semester exams, ISRO, BARC, everything you can target with just one subscription. And if you go for Iconic, in which I told you about the personal coach, study material, interview guidance, for 12 months it will cost 4,500 if you use the code Ankit ESE, and for 24 months it will cost you 54,000 if you use the code Ankit ESE. Ankit ESE is your code, my code, our code, and that will give you an instant 10% discount over and above whatever Unacademy is offering you. And my dear friend, that will connect you to me so that we can work together towards getting the best GATE rank. So don't hesitate, join today, because winners always start early, winners never start late. So it's always better to start immediately rather than thinking about it and becoming late and later on regretting your decision. Believe me, you will not even regret one day when you join Plus. So it's high time that you join Unacademy Plus and get the best out of you and become the best version of yourself. And my dear friend, this is the Telegram channel for our YouTube team. You will find all the lecture updates here. And this is my personal Telegram channel. If you wish to get in touch with me with my personal Telegram channel, GATE AIR1. Okay, GATE AIR1 is my Telegram channel. You can get connected to me. You will get notes, you will get lecture links, everything you will get here. All the new initiatives information will be provided here. These are the other channels that we are running in other than Kreatryx. You will find electrical junction. Here you will find short videos for GATE preparation, GATE question for PYQ, GS terminal for non-technical content of SSC and RRB, Pathshala to learn engineering through animation, SSC JE for your JE and AE exams, my dear friends. Other than that, Telugu, if you want to learn engineering or GATE and ESE preparation in the Telugu language, if you are comfortable with it, go for Telugu. Other than that, we have separate channel for mechanical, civil, computer science. You will find all these channels. Please share these channels with your friends as well so that they can also get benefited in the same manner that you are getting benefit from our side. Okay. So thank you everybody. See you soon in the next video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Share it among your college friends, among your Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, everywhere you need to share it. And you need to subscribe to this channel, press that red button and hit the bell icon, because my dear friend, this channel is creating a revolution in the GATE and ESE industry, and you, my friend, are a part of this revolution. So see you soon. Thank you.